Hey guys, it's Trish from Trisha's Card Club, live from Chattanooga. How are you guys? Happy Monday night. I hope you're doing well. All good here. Actually, today the weather this afternoon was gorgeous, so I was super happy to see that. Stampin' Up has changed. Stampin' Up, oh my God, sorry. Facebook has changed a lot of stuff. So I am hoping that I can still see you guys and still see comments. I can see Miss Mary. Hey, Mary. Hopefully you can still see me and hear me. I'm not 100% sure. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is working, because it's very, very different than the page, and where everything is all very different than it was when I filmed last Monday. So. Hey Cindy, nice to see you. So let's get started with the important stuff. That would be my fingernails. People, I want you to know that these are my actual fingernails. I don't have anything on them except polish. Let me tell you how they got so long. So I wore for like 6 days the press-ons, because I love them. And when I do that, my nails grow like weeds. So that's how my nails get. So hey, Miss Judy, that's how my nails get so long. So before they break and chip and peel and all that stuff that they normally do, I thought, let me get them on film so you guys can see them. So I'm all excited. So I did the polish, and now I have pretty nails for one class. So we're good to go. All right, that's over with. Just had to put that out there. Today we're going to be making a card using Designer Series paper. If you've ever participated in one of my paper shares or in anybody's paper share, you either have papers that are 6 inches by 12 inches like this one, or 6 inches by 6 inches, depending on what paper share that you might have been participated in. And I want to make sure that this paper gets used and doesn't get wasted. So this particular paper is from the bundle, the Designer Series paper called Hues of Happiness. So you can see it's a lot of variegated, I think that's the right color, paper. So for instance, on this sheet of paper, you've got yellow flowers onto pink onto melon mambo. So I had to show this piece of paper because it's going to reflect the piece of paper that I use, but I've already cut it up so you wouldn't have the full idea. So this is what I mean. I used this sheet of paper, which was originally as long as this sheet of paper, but I've cut it to make my card work. So does that make sense? I think that makes sense for you guys. So I'm going to show you what I did with the strips that I cut. So that's that. My card is inspired by a lady by the name of Tracy Bish. Now she posted her card online, and it was really pretty. And I didn't look for instructions. I said I'm going to try to figure it out on my own and add my own little spin to it. So she was my inspiration. So I already told you I'm using the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. Like any card, you guys, you can use any Designer Series paper for this card. Any Designer Series paper. You'll see when I make the card why you might need to have a guy card, or you might need to have someone that loves animals, or you can just be creative. She used a Lovely and Linen Designer Series paper. I'm also using a die. Let's see if you can see this. I'm embossing folder. Sorry, you guys. And it's called the Quadrifoil Tile embossing folder. So it is on page 177. It's this embossing folder right here, and it is new, and it's very pretty. It's very pretty. It gives a nice, really pretty finish to a card. And again, embossing folder on this card is not necessary, but it does kind of step it up a little bit. So some other things that I'm using some gems, which let's see if I can pull that. That's on page 142. I'm using these gems right here. These are also new. These are called the solid facet gems, and the reason I'm even talking about this and why I'm showing you this is because I wanted to show you guys my new system for storing my embellishments. This right here is actually, can you see the plastic, you guys? This is actually a passport cover, a 4x6 vinyl envelope. And what I've done is I put all my accessories in the vinyl envelope, and then I just cut off the tab of the top of the accessory, and then I just put in there what it is. And this has become the best storage system for me in terms of finding out where my stuff is, how much I have, what colors I have. I love it. The idea comes from Patty Bennett, and she just buys these on Amazon. So it's a 4x6 vinyl envelope from Avery, And there's the number if you need it, 74806. That's the item number. You get 10 in a package, and I had to order a couple packages, to be honest. You guys have a lot of embellishments. So I just wanted to show you that I thought it was a really fun way to store it. It's super easy to find, and I can know exactly what I ordered by just slipping it over on the back. So I did that. When I sorted out all my embellishments, you guys, I found out I had about 50, no, okay, I'm exaggerating, maybe 7 packages of the matte black dots, because I love those and I kept ordering them, not keeping track of them. Now I'm keeping better track of them. And then the final thing I want to show you guys is the foam adhesive sheets, and I'm going to tell you why, because of the final look that I wanted to have of my card. So the foam adhesive sheets are these right here. So Stampin' Up sells sheets and they sell strips. I technically need strips for this card, and I'll show you when I make it, but these are fantastic. If you have a big area to cover and you don't want to pick off all the tops of those dimensionals, these are fantastic, and they go a lot. They last a long time, because you're not going to use a whole sheet on a card. You know what I mean? So they're going to last a long time. But what I really wanted to get, and I don't have, and I'm going to now order, is the foam adhesive strips. So it's basically the same. Let me see if it's the same size. I'm trying to view with my glasses. I don't know if it's the same size, but it's probably pretty close to the same size. And Stampin' Up cuts them already, so there aren't in strips, and that's exactly what this card needed. So I'm going to just make my own strips with these since I had these. All right, that's a lot of information about how this card got made. Where do you buy any of that product? Shameless plug. trishn.stampinup.net. Anytime you need product, just quickly go to my webpage. On the upper left-hand corner, it says Shop Now. Just click on that and shop away. Or call me if you have any questions. Don't forget, it's still celebration. So if you spend $50 or $100, you'll get free products. So don't forget that. That's going on too. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and, since I've already done that, I'm just going to cut some strips. I don't really know how many I need, so I'm not going to go too crazy, and I'll just cut more if I need them. Now, can you make the card without this? Absolutely. Absolutely. You do not have to have, these are not going to make or break the success of the card. I'm just saying these are a lot easier to put on the card than if I were going to use dimensionals, which you know I love. Okay, so first thing I did is I took this piece of paper, which was 12 inches. Now it's 8 inches left because I cut off 2 colors. One here, one 2-inch strip here, and one a little bit more than 2-inch strip here, actually. Because I wasn't, at the first time around, I wasn't sure how to do it. Oh my gosh, everybody comes on that. I'm not saying hello. Miss Judy, thank you. Angela, good to see you. Hey, Miss Karen. Yeah, Karen has that storage system and she loves it so. And you can never have too many black dots. You are absolutely flat black dots. You're so right. Hey, Miss Jennifer, thanks for joining. Sorry, I didn't see everybody. I get all excited and I get carried away and then I forget to say hi to people, so I apologize for that. Okay, so for this, what I did is I took a strip of paper and I cut it. I don't have my cutter to show you, but let's just pretend. Just pretend, you guys, I'm taking this strip of paper and I'm cutting it 2 inches. So when I'm done, I'm going to have a 2-inch by 6-inch strip of paper. Then what I did is I took my triangle dies and I cut a triangle out of that piece of paper. So let's pretend, okay, now obviously it's not 6 inches, but let's just pretend. Let's pretend. So the first thing I did is I put my triangle down. My dear husband is the best. He is the Mac Daddy. He just gave me my cutter without me having to run off screen. So let me just really quickly show you. I'm going to take a 2-inch piece of paper here. So this is what I've started with. So now this would be my third card that I can make if I so choose to proceed. Then I took my triangle die and I cut out right in the middle. I cut out a piece. And then I had these 2 pieces left over and they were too long. So I cut one down. So let me just improvise and pretend I'm doing it. So I'm cutting a triangle like that. And it doesn't matter how you cut the triangle, just cut a triangle. It doesn't matter. So then this is what you're left with. Did I do it right? I hope I'm making sense, you guys. Okay, this is what you're left with. See how this is too long? It has to go down to that size. So just cut your triangle or use your triangle dies, and your triangles can be any size. That's why I don't have measurements. It's 2 inches is about the right width, and you can kind of decide on the height depending on what card base that you're going to use. If you're going to use your card base horizontally or if you're going to use your card base vertically. So that would determine. So in order to make it to this size, I just took the cutter, which I'll bring back. Oops. And on this flat end, I just cut a little bit off. So see how I'm kind of winging it, you guys? I just cut a little bit off. Now I want this piece to match this piece. I want them to be the same size. So the way that I did it is I just flipped it over, lined it up, and then just cut the back. So it's not exact, but it doesn't have to be an exact science, you guys. It's just, you just want it to be close enough. And then I went and I put them, now I have to remember how I did it. I did this one here and I did that one there. So that's the piece that I got. See, so how I got to be this size and that size, and I have these little pieces left over. That's it. Whew, that was a lot of work to explain. A 2" by 6" piece of paper. Either use your diamond your triangles dies if you have them. If you don't, just cut out a triangle, and then you're going to snip your other 2 pieces down because you don't want it to be as long as 6 inches, or you want it to be as long as you want. Then the next thing I did is I ran my cardstock through the quadrifoil tile embossing folder. So I got a really pretty pattern on it. And I'm going to move this out of the way now, and I'm going to bring this over here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on with the adhesive, foam adhesives that we cut. Now, let me explain why I was talking about. I don't want these to just put a dot, and a dot, and then them get flattened out completely in the mail. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm putting on a little bit more than I would normally because I want these to stand up, because it really does make a difference in how it looks on the paper. So that's the first one. And then I'll flip these 2 over. I'm just going to stick this one anywhere. It doesn't matter where I put it. I'm just getting it on there. Let me get that out of the camera view because I'm trying to make my table look a little nicer. I almost, you guys, I almost did a face shot first because I want to practice doing that. Hey, Miss Nancy, nice to see you. Good evening, good evening. And, but the worst hair day ever. I washed my hair today and didn't dry it, and it's so humid here that it's just a big old ball of frizz. So I just thought, pretty nails would be distracting enough. So you see how I'm using the strips to cover a lot of my designer series paper. Again, do you need to have strips? No. Can you use dimensionals? Absolutely. Do you need to cover it as much as I am? Probably not. Am I doing a little overkill? Maybe a little bit, but I really don't want my designer series paper to get flat when I send it in the mail. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, and when you assemble this card, this is important, is to put your triangle shape down first, because that's going to sort of space everything the correct way. So I want to put this right, give it a little edge, and I want to put it right in the middle of my card. So there's one, and then this will be my second attachment. And there it goes like that. And see how, you guys, it's the continuation of the design. That's kind of the cool part of the pattern. And then this one. I wonder if I can come in a little closer. Let me see something here, you guys. Let me see if that helps any. Does it stay? Ooh, that might be too close. Yeah, let me back out a little bit. I was just trying to, so that you could see it a little better. And then that goes there. So there it is. That's the card. So that's, do you see what I mean about how you can use any designer series paper? So out of this strip of designer series paper, based on the pattern that I'm choosing, on this 6 by 12, I think I could get 4 cards. If I was trying to keep the flowers in the same color pattern. Does that make sense? In the same color family? So out of this card, I will get, going this way, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4. I might not use this one because when I cut this one, you're going to get a big piece of the other color in there. So I may or may not, just depending. I'm going to show you what I did with this card because it was a little bit longer. These flowers were a little bit longer. I ended up with this little tiny piece right here. and I'm going to use that on my inside. So I thought that was kind of cool. So a while ago, I stamped up and embossed a bunch of these thank yous so I would have them. So I went ahead. Now what I'm doing here, let me see if I'm on camera. I hope I am on camera. I'm putting a dimensional only on half of this banner because this is already dimensionalized, and so I want it to sit nice and flat, so it doesn't need a dimensional on this side of the banner. All it needs is a little bit of glue. So I'll do that so that it will be the same height. I hope that makes sense, you guys. So we'll do that. And that's the start of the card. I just love these colors. I love these colors. And then in my, this one, yeah, yep, I know what I'm going to do. In my gems, I'm going to use the lighter pink, and I'm going to put a couple gems on here. So 1, just to give it a little bit more dimension. 2, and then 1 down here, 3. And then now I can see what I have left, and I can slide these right back. I was originally going to do the Mellow Mambo, but the Mellow Mambo, you wouldn't see it, so that doesn't make any sense. On my other card, you'll see it, how I contrasted it too, that I made. So that's that. And then on the inside, I'll take this piece, a little strip of DSP. I could have thrown it out, but I was like, why throw it out? Why not use it? It'll be pretty on the inside of the card. So I'm putting that little strip of DSP on the inside of the card, and then I trimmed it, or I will trim it like this. So now do you see why my title was that you could do this card over and over again? Because you just pick whatever DSP that you want to highlight, and then you just cut out your shapes. Like I said, either cut out a triangle or use a triangle die if you still have them. They are retired, but a lot of people have them, and they have a ton of different triangle shapes in there as well. So doesn't that make a pretty inside, you guys? That's so pretty. Let me see if I can put you out of loops. Oops, wrong direction. You're probably getting seasick. Hey, Angela. It is happy colors. It is very, very happy. Hey, Kristen and Ella. Hello, Miss Ella. Kristen has a new baby. She's the most beautiful little bugger you've ever seen. She should be a Gerber baby. She has the most adorable smile. She's 2 months old and the kid does nothing but laugh. She's so cute. I'm so happy for pictures on Facebook that she can share with us. So there's my card. It's a thank you with a little pretty pattern on the inside. And from the same paper, just changing the background. This was the next color of my flowers. I made this card. And then for that one, I didn't have any extra paper, so I had an old flower that I had die cut, so I put that right on there. I don't think you can tell if it's die cut. I'm not sure if you can tell, but that's actually a die cut of a flower from another stamp set. Yeah, there you can see it. There you can see it. So these are my 2 thank you cards. This was my sample, and then this was I made with you guys. And I love them. And I think that this is a great pattern, and you can do a lot with it just by changing the designer series paper. And it doesn't have to be flowers, and of course it doesn't have to be a thank you. It can be anything. But that's my card for the night. So let me see if I told you everything. I think I did. Yep, I think I've told you everything. I think I've shared everything. I have this card next to make, so I will do this one next. So I'll just show you the setup of how that's going to go. So you'll see how that's going to be. So that's going to be really pretty too. So they won't go to waste. I'll make it after class. There you go. All right, ladies, how are you? She does laugh more than, she does more than laugh. Just don't. Oh, I bet she might cry a few times, Mom. That's good for the development. My mom always said babies crying were very good for their lungs. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing if Miss Ella cries a little bit. It's good for her lung development. Last week, I mentioned that there were 100 days to football, and I was completely wrong. There are like 35 more days till practice. Well, not practice, because practice is already starting. Camp's already starting, but till the 4 preseason games play, there's like 35 more days or something crazy like that. So I think that I got so confused because I was watching golf on a Monday night, which makes no sense, but it was wonderful. And what else? What else is going on around here? I think that's about it. For those of you guys who have been praying and asking about my father-in-law, thank you from the bottom of my heart. He is in a rehab center. He's had quite a few complications, but you know, God willing, he'll be able to come home this Thursday-ish, maybe. He'll have to have home health to continue to work physical therapy to build up his strength, continue to build up his strength. As I said, he's had a couple of health complications, so it'll mean more follow-ups with some doctors and stuff. He's going to see a urologist and his cardiologist and on and on and on. So prayers for him to get better, and prayers for my mother-in-law to continue, because it's a little big burden for her to take care of my father-in-law. So, and we help where we can, but they're very independent as well. So I just noticed Cindy's comment, and Cindy's 100% right. What she's talking about is once you use all your insides of your dimensionals, then you have your outer side, your outsides. And I use these, as you can see how they're cut. I've used these to make my cards as well. So you don't just need to have the strips. You can use what's left of your dimensionals. Once you used up everything that's in the inside, you can use the edges too. That's another way to get strips. So that's a great point, Cindy. Thanks for bringing that up. So, all right, my friends, I love you guys. I miss you guys. Oh, I forgot one quick thing. For anybody that's going to be doing Zoom with us on the 30th of this month, I sent out a card sketch. And next Monday night, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in the great state of Maine with my family. But on Monday the 25th, I will probably do a little mini preview of a sketch that how I made up the card, so you get an idea of how to do it in case you haven't worked on it yet. That'll give you 5 days to work on it for Zoom on the 30th. So so don't forget about Zoom on the 30th. If you've never come, please come. If you don't want to make the card, you don't have to just come and talk. We love that part. I just love seeing all you guys. And I always do my hair that day, so it's going to look good. Just telling you. And if you can't find your sketch, just text me or email me, and I will definitely resend it. And I'll send it out one more time as we get closer to the Zoom day to include the link. So that will be good. So that's that. So, and I told you I wasn't going to be here next Monday. I'm going to be away, and thanks for your safe travels. I pray you guys that American Airlines takes off and lands at all the appropriate times for our trip, so we get there. Fingers crossed that all goes well. And I think that's it. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Remember, around here we make it and we mail it. I hope and I pray that you guys find time to make it and mail it and bless someone's life, because that's a really, really good thing to do. Love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.